Good evening and welcome to the first of two meetings tonight. My name is Dennis Buckley, Mayor of the City of Beech Grove. And at this time, we will convene our Board of Sanitation meeting for Monday, June the 17th, 2019. In lieu of a roll call, I will ask each participant to introduce themselves, beginning on my far right.
Dave Harrison.
Dan McMillan, Clerk Treasurer.
Craig Wiley, City Attorney.
Sandy Seward.
Thank you, Board. You have been presented a printed copy of the minutes of the previous meeting dated Monday, June 3rd, 2019. Floor is open for any questions, comments, or corrections.
I have none.
I have none.
No questions, comments, or corrections. I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you. This evening, Board, we have 3 pages of wastewater claims in the amount of $208,608.23. The floor is open for any questions or comments.
I have none.
No questions or comments. I'll ask for a motion to approve the wastewater claims dated June 17th, 2019 in the amount of $208,608.23.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. We have no unfinished business, and we have no new business this evening. Comments from board members?
I have none.
No comments. I'll ask for a motion to approve, to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
The meeting is adjourned at 6:01 p.m. We will convene the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting as soon as we reset. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the second and final meeting tonight. My name is Dennis Buckley, Mayor of the City of Beech Grove. And at this time, we will convene our Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for Monday, June 17th, 2019. In lieu of a roll call, I will ask each participant to introduce themselves, beginning on my far right.
Dave Harrison.
Dan McMillan, Clerk Treasurer.
Craig Wiley, City Attorney.
Sandy Seward.
Thank you, Board. You've been presented a printed copy of the minutes of the previous meeting dated Monday, June 3rd, 2019. Floor is open for any questions, comments, or corrections.
I have none.
I have none.
No questions, comments, or corrections. I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you. Approval of claims. This evening, Board, we have 27 pages of corporate claims in the amount of $645,537.82. Floor is open for questions or comments.
I do have a question, please.
Okay?
On page 23, fourth of the way down, the GAI Consultants, the grant for Thompson Park for $16,000. What?
They're sitting out there. That's part of the planning for the Thompson Road Sidewalk Project.
Perfect, thank you. That was my only question.
Any other questions or comments?
I have none.
All right, if not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the corporate claims dated June the 17th, 2019, in the amount of $645,537.82.
I'll make said motion.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Board. We have no unfinished business to carry over from the previous meeting. This evening, we have several items under new business. The first item is the LPA agreement with GAI Consultants for the roundabout at 25th and Churchman. Scott, welcome back.
Thank you. Scott Hornsby, Vice President at GAI Consultants. Thanks for letting me come here tonight to present this. Before I get into that, I thought I'd give you a quick update on the Big Four roundabout. Is that okay, Mayor?
Well, sure.
Okay. You see some progress out there. The gas line, utilities are moving. We're on schedule for a July 10th letting through NDOT. The project's been advertised. Contractors are looking at the plans. We've actually received a few questions already on that, which is good. So there's definitely interest in it. Look, after July 10th, NDOT will take 4 to 6 weeks to evaluate the bids and actually award the contract and issue a notice to proceed. The plan is to have the project start on the day after Labor Day, which is September 3rd. The road will probably be closed shortly after that because there's only a 2.5 month period for the contractor to build the facility. And the road will be closed and it must be reopened to traffic by November 20th. Doesn't mean the project will be completed out. There'll probably be some activities in the spring, like final surface, asphalt surface, and final pavement markings. But the drop dead date for the project to be completely closed out is May 1st of next year. But we fully expect the contractor to adhere to these dates, and IPL is going to install the lighting out there after the contractor is complete on November 20th. It's not part of our contract, but IPL is doing that outside of our contract here. They'll have about 2 weeks to do that. And we're also putting in empty conduits into the center island of the roundabout, the donut area, for future use. If you want to add lighting or irrigation or whatever you want to put in those conduits, that'll be there. Right now, we expect the project to come in as budgeted. I think the MPO had budgeted this at $1.4 million, and we think we designed a project that meets that budget. So I don't know if you have any questions on that project, but it's getting close.
That project has drawn some interest from business, so I look forward to that project getting going so we can do some more work out there from an economic development standpoint. I know Kinetrix is anxious for it to get going. So.
Yep, it's going to be a great project for the city. Well, if no other questions on that, I'd like to introduce our project manager, Brian Craig, to come up to present on the new exciting project that you guys are getting ready to embark on and also present our contract. So, Brian?
Thanks. I'm Brian Craig. I'm an engineering manager, and wanted to give you an update on the project that we're getting ready to start with you guys that you recently got funding awarded for. In front of you here, you got the boards for the Churchman Perkins Southern roundabout. No good technical term, but it's called a peanut roundabout, as you can see why. But it's meant to be a safety improvement out there to fix the skewed intersections that you have right now. So that recently got awarded funding, and we've got a contract that we've given to the mayor, and it's that one is scheduled for a letting in December of 2023. So we'll just be getting started here on survey and then going into the design this year. If you got any other questions, I can answer on that. I do have a funding breakdown that the mayor had requested that shows the funding that we expect will be spent each year on engineering, right-of-way, or construction on this. So I've got copies on this if you need it. So
I'll open it up to the board for any questions or comments.
Amen.
Dave, anything?
No, not really. Everything's going to start in May, 2023?
that's when the construction will be advertised for letting.
Okay.
That seems like a million miles away, but it's not.
Yeah, it goes pretty quick.
It goes pretty quick.
How much is budgeted in 2020?
In 2020, 166,630.
Now, is any of that towards the match, or is that just for engineering, things like that?
That's just engineering.
Engineering right away and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't get into the match until 2024 when you're actually spending on construction.
And what about any properties? Is there any properties that have to be bought?
Yes, right now, we're erring on the conservative side and saying 12 parcels. That's the total number of parcels that touch the project. We don't know yet that we'll need right-of-way from all those parcels. We anticipate that it will be less than that. So that'll be determined once we get far enough into the design to design the right-of-way, and also when we verify what existing right-of-way you have documented out there, and we'll do that through our survey process.
But that will be like 2021 or,
Next year, we should have, we should know what you have existing out there for sure at the end of the survey.
but as far as purchasing,
As far as purchasing, we should know how many parcels you will need to purchase next year as well.
okay.
So
But that's
we-
part of that,
Yes.
okay.
Right now, it's based on 12 parcels, the right-of-way services that we have in the contract. We only have right-of-way engineering and title research and appraisal problem analysis, the first 3 steps of the right-of-way in the contract right now. Those are based on those full 12 parcels. If we don't have 12 parcels, we won't need to bill all of that, but there will be another supplement for right-of-way once we know how many parcels we have to complete the appraising and the buying.
And they're gonna come to the council, I'm gonna have them come to the council and talk about what he just talked about for this project for 2020 budgeting, Thompson Road sidewalks, and what else you got? Is that it? Yeah. For you guys, it would be the Thompson Road sidewalk project, 25th, and the roundabout that we're gonna do this fall's already budgeted. That's already set. So they're gonna come in front of the council, so the council can give them, or they can give the council a rundown on cost for next year.
And we have these breakdowns for both of those projects. If you care to have them tonight, we can leave them with you.
I got one other question. Since that borders into Indianapolis, is there any chance Indianapolis kick in any money for this project? Good.
Yeah.
Good, I
mean,
don't know,
that's-
good.
Yeah, that's a question for you. I mean, I know the mayor's got
Question
contacts
for
there.
the council.
Yeah, I mean, that, a portion of that is Indianapolis, so it's an improvement for them also.
I'll defer, Craig, any comments on the contract, on the agreement?
No. I mean, very similar to the one we approved way back on the other roundabout, so.
Dave, any questions?
No, sir.
Andy? If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the LPA consulting contract with the GAI Consultants for the intersection improvement at Churchman, Perkins, and Southern Avenue.
I'll make said motion.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. You have the, just bring them up, we'll sign them and give them back to you. Brad, did you have any comment on this project per se?
No, we were thrilled that it got funded, excited to see it move forward.
Hey, Brian, did you want to talk about the type of funding and the score? I think that's pretty relevant because
Yeah.
of the score.
Yeah, we got HSIP funding for this, which is highway safety improvement. It was based on safety, and that's a 90-10 split. So I don't recall what the actual score was, but I know you.
54.
54. So the mayor had talked to the scoring committee there at the NPO, and they gave some good comments and high marks for the funding application and said that it was a very honest, is that what they said?
Yeah.
Uh,
It was,
submittal. So I think they were happy with the funding application, and obviously that led to the award. So
Yeah, this one's kind of unique because the HSIP funding category has to be approved by two different agencies. So it was scored and approved by NDOT and the Indianapolis MPO. So that's pretty good. That's a good deal. I was happy about that. So it scored 54, and it was the highest score of any project in that category. I used to live up in that area, and I lived at 2268 Churchman, and we would be out playing in the yard, and I would hear tires squeaking. Every once in a while, crash.
yeah.
So that's been a difficult intersection for a long period of time. And this, one is yours and one is ours?
Yes.
We'll give you this one, Brian.
Put it back together.
Do we get 10% off if it's in the right chronological order?
Thank you.
All right. Here, Dan.
Thank you.
We also have an update on Thompson Road, if you'd like to hear that.
Yes,
Okay.
I'd like to hear what's going on with that one.
Okay, we updated the mayor a couple weeks ago and Brad, but we are working on preliminary field check plans right now, which are essentially 45, 50% design completion. So we'll be sending those out by the end of the month, and we'll hold the preliminary field check meeting in July, probably the third week in July, when we'll get together with Brad and the mayor and with the utilities and with any other interested parties from NDOT. And we'll move on from there. We'll be starting right-of-way engineering, right-of-way services as well, shortly after the preliminary field check. So that is mostly what is the supplement that we have on the agenda tonight as well for Thompson Road is additional right-of-way parcels. Just at the beginning, when we put a fee proposal together, we have to just estimate, best guess, how many parcels are going to be impacted based on GIS and other information. That gets confirmed after survey, and sometimes that can fluctuate. And unfortunately, on this one, that's what happened. Is there's some parcels that weren't actually documented or recorded, so we have to reacquire right away. And so there's going to be 8 parcels impacted now for Thompson Road. So that's what that supplement is for those additional right-of-way parcels.
And is that on the back, is there a cost on the back?
Do you have we gave you the fee proposal letter, but we also have the official contract amendment. But it was, total, it was 19,920. Is that the number you have?
No, the one I'm looking at is 28,840. I might not be looking at the right numbers.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you're looking at this table, that number is what the total fee will become. This is the added.
Oh,
This is
okay.
the original.
Okay,
So, the additional is 19,920.
and that could go down if parcels don't need to be purchased, or if somebody gives us.
If somebody donates, you still have to go through the right-of-way services that we have in here, at least this is just for appraisal problem analysis and title research. So this is the same situation as the roundabout where we don't yet have in here appraisals and buying.
Okay,
That'll be another future supplement once we do confirm the parcel types.
okay. All right. Board members, do you have any questions for Brian? we just went through this with the roundabout on Arlington. So this is similar to, but in lesser numbers.
I'm just looking at this in the chart. It says the bridge design. Where is there a bridge on Thompson?
We have a single span bridge that crosses Carson Creek. It's
There's a
on the
creek going
west
through there.
end of the
Okay.
trail.
Okay.
It's a prefabricated steel truss bridge.
It's almost to 9th Street. If you're going west on Thompson, it's almost to 9th Street. The little tributary that runs through there. Any other questions or comments from board members? Dave, do you have anything?
No, sir.
I would ask for a motion to approve the supplemental agreement number 1 between the City of Beech Grove and GAI Consultants concerning the Thompson Road Trail.
I'll make said motion.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries.
I also have 2 copies of that if you care to sign it.
Please approach.
I had a signature tabs, but it's third. I got that one marked, and it's the 3rd page. This is another copy.
Thank you.
Did it rain out your way over the weekend?
Yes, all day Saturday. Horrible. A lot of
Or Dan?
All right. There's that one.
What's today's 17th? Okay, Brian, come on up. There you go.
Thank you much.
Well done, thank you.
I do have these if you care to have them.
Sure.
I think I got
Excellent.
5 copies, so there's, that one is
Perfect.
Churchman Perkins, and this one is Thompson Trail.
Perfect, thank you.
We'll see you guys in July. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next order of business, resignation of PAO, Police Department. Chief? Here you go.
Dear Board, accepted a resignation from Tina Lance. It is an email from her. She says, "With my full-time job, it is, and the overtime that's required, it has made it beyond difficult for me to make it to the Beech Grove Police Department. As much as it saddens me, after all this time, effective May 20th, 2019, I'm resigning from my position as a PAO. Thank you for the opportunity you have given me. It has been a pleasure working with you." Signed, Tina Lance.
Comments from board members?
I have none.
None, I'll ask for a motion to accept the resignation of Tina Lance.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Chief, next order of business, surplus equipment.
Dear Mayor and Board, I'm requesting permission to surplus office equipment that is no longer useful or does not work properly. The list will include 4 desks and 14 chairs. These items will be put into the city auction in July of this year if it's approved.
Comments from board members?
None.
I have none.
If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the chief's request to surplus 4 desks and 14 chairs.
Make said motion.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye, and the motion carries. Chief, update on the auction date.
It's July 20th at DPW. It's supposed to start around 10:30 in the morning.
It was going to be the 27th, right?
It was 27th, and the auctioneer, Mike Heimel, had a conflict of interest with that and asked it to be changed to July 20th.
Okay, thanks, Chief. The next order of business, I invited Ben Easley to come up and talk about a kiosk grant for Main Street. And Ben, welcome. Come on up and give us some insight on what you would like to propose.
Thank you very much. My name is Ben Easley. I've been volunteering with the Next Stop Beech Grove organization for their promotions committee, and they've asked that I take the lead on a grant through Okra's Main Street program. So I have a couple handouts for you. The first is a trifold pamphlet. This is a representative of the first comprehensive effort on behalf of Next Stop Beech Grove to put together a map and a directory of all of the different businesses on Main Street. We wanted something that would be attractive, that we could put in hotels and Airbnbs in the area, and something that could be readily handed out by the businesses and in different locations to promote the Main Street Business District. And then as a part of that effort, we believe that this information kiosk grant could be supplemental in that effort. The grant is for $5,000, and I guess tonight I'm looking for your approval of this idea and your guidance on putting something like what we are proposing in the public right-of-way, and then any other considerations that you might have about such an installation. I have a few points about what the idea might be, but feel free to break in if you have any questions. Basically, we are hoping to install signage, such as you see on the proof, at 2 different locations in the public right-of-way along Main Street, one of them in front of City Hall right out here, and one of them in front of the post office. We think that the $5,000 grant would cover both the installation and the fabrication of both such signs. Though if only one were funded, that would work too. We think that it falls in line with the tenets of the Main Street grant program, and we think that it would add an attractive gateway element to the Main Street Business District, as well as being very helpful for wayfinding for the local businesses in the district. The deadline to apply for this is Friday, June 28th. After that, they announce 5 finalists in July. Finalist presentations are made during the Great Lakes Main Street Conference, which is in August, which is when they will make their final decision.
So it would be your group applying for the grant?
It would be our name on the grant, yes.
Okay, would not be the city?
I believe that's correct, though I suppose there's some room for coordination there if you believe that the city's name would be a stronger applicant.
How about, I like the idea of promoting the businesses on Main Street, and I think a directory would help. How about maintenance?
That's something that I was hoping to get your guidance on, because I'm sure, I work for the Indianapolis Department of Public Works, and graffiti abatement and maintenance of different pieces of property is something that we deal with.
What would happen if a business went out?
Right, so that is something that would be much more easily updated. This is the first effort of this kind to put something like this together, and I think we've after several months now of reaching out to all of the businesses, have established really good relationships with them. I think that is our plan as an organization now to try to update this at least semi-annually. And the proof as it's been given to me by Business Art would make the map and directory portion of the sign interchangeable. So it would be just something that would be printed and then could be switched out very easily inside of those signs. So every time that we would do then an update to the map and directory graphic, we could install a new version in the sign. I also think it might make a good opportunity for the promotion of other kinds of events along Main Street, such as the 3rd of July or the Fall Festival or what have you.
I like the idea, and I wanted you to come and talk about it. So our role would be to approve the project and the location of the signs.
The two signs, yes. I think that at least in coordinating with Brad, we'd talked about what permits might have to be pulled to install something in the right-of-way, and if there was a fee associated with that. I wonder if, I guess I don't know if there is a fee, but if that might be waived for the benefit of this project and the promotion of Main Street
We'd cross that
businesses.
bridge when we get there, but I just think for tonight, I'll open it up for board members, what their thoughts on it.
I think it's a great idea too. I guess my only concern would be the semi-annually updating it. Whose responsibility would that fall under? Is that the city or is that?
That's a great question.
Depot?
I think that Next Up Beech Grove has led this effort thus far, and it would remain with Next Up Beech Grove going forward. Yeah, that brings up the question of whose sign is it, who maintains it, and who updates it. As long as I'm helping out with Next Stop Beech Grove, I would like that responsibility to be mine, because I think it's a terrific project and I like working on it. But maybe there's an agreement that's to be written, like if there is not a semi-annual update by Next Stop Beech Grove as an organization, maybe the city has complete rights to publicize whatever they want in that space.
And my next question would be, how simple is it of a transition to remove the old information then replace with new?
I think it is just a 24 by 36 printout on a piece of paper or something stronger that you could put beneath glass or plastic or whatever
Something
it
that
is.
could be
Yeah.
done easily at a print shop on some
Yes.
kind of like a Velox paper or something.
That's what I understand. You could just go to a Kinko's or whatever and print out a new version and open it up and replace it.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Dave, any thoughts on it?
No, I think it's a nice idea.
Dan, any thoughts?
Yeah, I've got a couple questions on this. I was told that as long as an Okra grant is going on until it's under construction, you cannot apply for another. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not an expert on that. I think that may refer to a different program within Okra. If I understand the facade grant correctly, I believe that's what we're referring to. There's a couple different pieces inside of that program, and we are specifically pursuing the facade grant as opposed to another one. I think this is a completely separate program, the Inspire Indiana, I forget what it's called.
Okay.
But I can certainly look into that, because obviously that would disqualify us.
And my other question would be, is it would bother me greatly. I'm not opposed to this. What I'm opposed to is getting a $5,000 grant when we could possibly get a $600,000 or $700,000 grant and this tying it up. So
Oh, I see.
that would
Yeah.
be very questionable and I would want to make sure that that would not interfere with that. I don't know if you need to contact Mike Kleinpeter. And the last time on the facade grant, he told me the only way we could do an Okra grant was through the city of Beech Grove.
Okay.
So there are some questions that I think need answered before we do anything.
Go
on that.
forward with
That's
the
just my
proposal.
opinion.
Right. There's definitely a contact information on the website where I've gotten all the information. I can definitely put those questions in an email to that person and just say, should we apply as this organization or the city? And will this preclude us from other Okra monies?
Thank you.
Fair enough.
Yeah, can you report back, because sooner than later, because well, you have to have it by June 28th.
That's correct, but email works fast. I'll get those answers and send it to you.
Well, I would ask the board to make a motion to support the project, tentative on, there's no conflict between the city and Okra for the second grant.
I will surely pull this out of consideration if it tends to interfere with other Okra grants.
There's a
Okay.
motion, second?
I'll make said motion. Mhm.
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I also vote aye. And let us know ASAP, Ben.
Absolutely.
I think it's a good idea, and I like the idea of promoting Main Street businesses.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes new business comments from board members.
I have none.
I have none.
Now I'll ask for motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make said motion.
Second.
The meeting is adjourned at 6:37 PM. Thank you so much.